They said Dedridge was forgotten, buried in dust and silence. But as Rango stepped past the broken sign, the air shifted cold, unnatural. Something was watching, something with a growl buried deep in the wind. The name whispered in the breeze chilled his bones. Cujo. The saloon creaked like it was breathing. Rango reached down, his fingers brushing a collar soaked in dried blood. It read one word: Cujo. He felt something behind him. Not footsteps, just the weight of a presence. His shadow wasn't alone anymore. The alley was quiet, too quiet. The fog wrapped around Rango like a noose. Then two burning red eyes blinked into view. No sound, no growl, just those eyes watching, waiting. And then they were gone. The stable smelled of rot and blood. Inside, the straw was soaked crimson, bones shattered, hooves torn. Rango had seen death before, but not like this. This was rage. This was slaughter. This was Cujo's work. From the shadows, it stepped forward, its mangled face half melted, teeth yellow with rot. It didn't bark. It growled deep, diseased. Cujo was no longer a dog. He was a nightmare dressed in fur. With a crash, Cujo burst through the wall, wood splintering like bone. Rango dove, barely escaping. Behind him, the beast howled, eyes glowing with madness. The hunt had begun, and Cujo never lost. Beneath the town, Rango found what they tried to hide: chains snapped, bones broken, blood-soaked stone. Cujo had been buried here, not to die, but to wait. Symbols drawn in blood, a circle of bones. Rango stepped into the forgotten shrine, a place where madmen fed Cujo their prayers, and the dog turned into a demon, worshipped, betrayed, awakened. Rango crawled through the dark, breath shaking. Behind him, phantom paws padded silently. Ghost dogs rushed past, howling in silence. One stopped, snarled, and vanished into the mist. The bell tolled, though no wind blew. Each clang rang like a death note. Rango climbed, breath catching, but he wasn't alone. Something climbed, claws scraping metal, and a snarl growing louder. Red drops hit Rango's face. He looked up, sky bleeding. Streets turned crimson, dripping. And then through the downpour, Cujo walked, calm, burning with fury. The rain didn't cleanse him, it crowned him. In the mirror, Rango saw Cujo, eyes red, mouth twisted into a canine grin. The reflection laughed without sound. His body trembled. Something crawled inside him. The dog wanted in. The barn blazed, flames dancing to the sound of screams. But from the fire, Cujo stepped forward and burnt, untouched, like fire bowed before him. Rango backed away. This wasn't nature, this was evil. Mirrors surrounded him, each one showing a different Cujo. A puppy, a corpse, a demon. Rango looked for his own reflection. There was none, only the eyes, all watching, all hungry. An old photo, dusty and torn. Rango brushed it clean and froze. Cujo, smiling, a pet. They'd raised him, loved him, then tried to bury him alive. Now, he's back, and he remembers everything. Spikes hidden in the fog, oil barrels prepped to burn. Rango's hands trembled as he wired the traps. This was no longer survival. It was war. One mistake, and the dog wins. Thunder split the sky. Cujo charged through shattered graves, dirt flying. Rango stood his ground, shaking. The monster leapt, fangs first. It was now or never. Teeth sank into flesh. Rango screamed. Blood poured. Cujo's venom seared through his veins. Something snapped in his eyes. The bite wasn't just pain. It was transformation. The world tilted. Buildings twisted, the sky bent like liquid. Cujo's face appeared everywhere, laughing, mocking. Inside Rango's head, the voice whispered, "You're mine now." The church was hollow, broken. Candles lit themselves. At the altar stood Cujo, waiting. This was his place, his rebirth. Rango stepped inside. One last time. Flames circled them. Rango screamed as Cujo's spirit tried to crawl into his skin. The air cracked. His veins pulsed black. And then he roared back. The beast didn't expect resistance. Rango lifted the burning rod, eyes wild. Cujo lunged in, the metal pierced him. A scream like thunder erupted. The sky lit up. And then silence, cold, complete. The town was quiet, the graveyard still. But Rango's arm was dark, twitching. The infection hadn't left. It slept inside him. He whispered, "I'm not him. I'm not Cujo." As he walked away, the town faded behind him. But then, a bark. Low, distant, no dogs, no souls. Just that bark following him, and his shadow, slightly longer than it should be. He stared into the glass half his face, no longer his. Teeth sharper, eyes red. A growl vibrated from his chest. Cujo died, but didn't leave. Rango blinked and Cujo grinned.